Hi everyone, this is Instructor Hernandez, and I'm using this video lecture to discuss how you can revise and edit your final draft for essay number 2. So just to review, remember that for this essay, you are writing an argumentative essay, and you are defending a position in terms of who you think has the most effective method for learning, whether that's Santiago, who prefers to learn through life experience and observation, or the Englishman who prefers to learn through books and intellect. This is not a compare and contrast essay, so you shouldn't write a description of how Santiago learns and how the Englishman learns. You want to construct an argument in terms of who you think has the best method for learning, and then support your argument using quotes from the book as well as different examples. Your essay should include a brief summary of the book, but you don't want your essay to become one long summary of the book. Remember, in class, we discussed that a good summary is about 10% the length of the original text. So since we're not summarizing the entire book, your summary should be no more than a paragraph. And remember that for this essay, you are required to include quotes or paraphrases from the book. So if you didn't have those in your preliminary draft, make sure that you include those in your final draft. And finally, it's not a bad idea to check the assignment instructions on Canvas, especially before you submit your final draft, just to make sure that your essay is fulfilling all of the assignment requirements. I'm going to discuss some general issues that I saw for the class as a whole, but remember that I gave each person individualized feedback on Canvas, so please make sure to check the draft that you submitted on Canvas for my comments. As a reminder, you want to avoid using second person in this essay. For academic essays, it is preferred that you use third person. And one way that you can make sure you're doing this is to focus on your use of pronouns. So below, I have an example of a quote that is in second person and how it was revised to be in third person. And you can see the sentence that is in second person uses you or your, and it's repeated throughout the sentence. So an easy way to revise this is to change the pronouns so that they are in third person. So the revised version reads, when searching for their personal legend, a person will find it in real life rather than in the pages of a book. In terms of other common grammar issues, I also saw issues related to sentence structure. And the most common are sentence fragments and run-ons. So if you have those issues in your essay or it's something I pointed out, I would highly recommend that you meet with a grammar expert at the LRC so that they can help you revise your sentences. Other issues related to grammar include punctuation and spelling. So again, meeting with a grammar expert and going over your specific essay can be a big help because it can be difficult to edit our own writing. So that's why having someone else go through it with us can be a lot more useful. For this essay, it's also important to make sure that you are using MLA format correctly, since you will be quoting from the book. In terms of MLA format for the book title, I noticed that there were a few variations in terms of how the title was formatted. So you just want to make sure that whenever you refer to the book by its title, you are just italicizing the title. It doesn't need to be underlined. It doesn't need to be in quotation marks. It just needs to be in italics, like I have it here. For in-text citations, you need to put the author last name and the page number for MLA format. And remember that in-text citations are required whether you're using a direct quote or a paraphrase. And I have an example here of a direct quote that uses a in-text citation at the very end of the sentence. And you'll notice that the in-text citation comes after the quotation mark and before the period. I also noticed that some of you were using quotes within a quote, which is fine. You just want to make sure it's formatted correctly. So my second example shows a quote from the book that quotes when a character is speaking. And you can see that when the character is speaking, that part of the quote is enclosed in the singular quotation marks. And then the quote as a whole uses the double quotation marks at the beginning and the end. And we still have an in-text citation that follows. So those are just some general issues I saw in terms of the preliminary drafts. Remember to check your individual draft for feedback on Canvas. I was not able to leave comments on all of the drafts. For some of you, it looks like you mistakenly uploaded your draft for essay number 1, or you uploaded a file that I could not open. So if that was the case with your essay, please resubmit your draft. And if you have trouble doing that, then just send me a message on Canvas or email me. For next week, remember that on Monday, we'll be having our second round of conferences. So if you did not get an email from me already about your conference, that means that we're not meeting on Monday. If you did get an email, just remember to show up for your conference at the time that you were assigned. And you can meet with me either in person in the classroom, or you can connect with me on Zoom. Whether or not you have a conference with me on Monday, you are still required to attend both sessions of supplemental instruction on Monday and Wednesday. Monday will be in person and Wednesday will be online. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, to complete your tutoring visits for essay number 1 if you're resubmitting that essay, and for essay number 2 as well. For essay number 2, I've extended the deadline of the final draft to the very end of the day on Monday instead of Sunday. So hopefully that will all give you a little bit more time to work on it. If you are resubmitting essay number 1, remember that your resubmission and statement of revision is also due on Monday the 25th. Tonight you have reading log number 5 due, and then next week you will also complete discussion post number 4. So remember, for the discussion post, you not only need to post your own response to my question, but also reply to a classmate's post in order to get full credit. That's all I have for now. Good luck revising your final drafts. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email or on Canvas.